Oh, come on. You think you've seen it all? Well, buckle up, because the ancient Greek gods are about to show you a whole new level of kinky that'll make even the most scandalous reality TV stars look tame. Today, we're about to embark on a wild, scandalous journey through the craziest sex lives of the Greek gods. From steamy terracotta art to the bizarre curse of Myrrha and the hedonistic cult of Dionysus. Oh, and let's not forget the insatiable, conquest-hungry Zeus. Brace yourself, because this is no ordinary mythology lesson. You might be wondering, who on Mount Olympus could possibly out-kink the rest? Well, my curious friend, prepare to have your mind blown as we reveal the Greek god with the wildest, most unconventional sexual escapades you could never have imagined. But before we begin, please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content. So let's dive in. Let's start with the world of ancient Greece, where sexual intercourse isn't just a casual romp, it's the foundation of the creation of Earth, the heavens and the underworld. You heard it right, folks, bestiality sits right at the heart of their culture, with sexual acts between people and animals being a key aspect of their beliefs. Greek gods, oh, they're always cooking up new and fascinating ways to procreate, channel and control their sexual desires. Bestiality, just another day on Mount Olympus. Now let's talk terracotta porn. You see, the Greek gods aren't exactly the shy type when it comes to getting busy. Take a look at their earthenware pots and you'll find more than a few phalluses. That's penises, for those playing at home, on display. These phalluses symbolize fertility, and the pots themselves are adorned with erotic scenes of explicit intercourse, fellatio, oral sex, and even masturbation. Do these pots imply that the ancient Greek gods had a bit of a wilder side than us mere mortals? Maybe not, but it's clear they didn't have any hang-ups about self-pleasure. They were all too happy to let it all out. Meet Myrrha, the stunning daughter of the king and queen of the picturesque island of Cyprus. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Except her mum, Queen Centuries, boasts that Myrrha's beauty surpasses even Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty herself. Uh-oh. Aphrodite doesn't take kindly to rivals. Her solution? Curse poor Myrrha to lust after her own father. Myrrha, in a twisted turn of events, disguises herself as her mother and seduces her dad when mum isn't looking. Yikes. King Cinyras isn't thrilled either and chases after Myrrha, intending to kill her. Desperate, she prays to the gods for salvation, and they turn her into a tree. Incest? Yeah, let's just say it's not the way to go. Enter Dionysus, son of Semele and Zeus. Semele was a priestess, but when Zeus caught her bathing in the blood of one of his bulls, he was consumed with desire and seduced her. The kicker, Zeus took the form of an eagle, revealing Semele's, shall we say, unique preferences in birds. Dionysus, the god of wine and ecstasy, leads a cult where members drink themselves into a stupor and spiritual frenzy. Their rituals involve dancing wildly, chanting Ioi, and in a moment of intense rapture, they believe they merge with Dionysus, gaining divine powers. Now this is where things get wild. Even Kim Kardashian and Ray J have nothing on these antics. The cult's ultimate goal is to achieve eternal life through unity with the god. To do so, they engage in intercourse with wild animals like bulls, leopards, tigers, and snakes. The grand finale? They tear each other to shreds in celebration. Not everyone's cup of tea, but hey, to each their own. Hera may be Zeus's main squeeze, but she's far from his first or last conquest. Before her there was Metis, a sea nymph who transformed into a hawk, fish and snake to evade him. But Zeus wasn't giving up that easily. He mimicked her shapeshifting and ultimately had his way. In a bizarre twist, he swallowed her whole. Talk about getting carried away. Zeus's headache after this escapade led to Hephaestus, the divine blacksmith, splitting his skull open. Lo and behold, Athena, goddess of wisdom, emerged fully armed, understandably wary of the lustful god. Zeus's appetite for love didn't stop there. Themis of divine justice was his next lover, followed by Eurynome, an ocean nymph. More wives? Why not? He's a god after all. He even married Titaness Mnemosyne. Enter Hera, who became Zeus's permanent wife, but he had to get creative to win her over, transforming into a disheveled cuckoo. Hera, feeling sorry for the bird, not realizing he was an aging pervert, held him close. Zeus then reverted to his true form and seduced her. To save face, Hera married him, because hooking up with a raggedy cuckoo is a big no-no. Their extravagant wedding could rival any Kardashian event. But the honeymoon phase didn't last. Zeus's insatiable lust led to a rocky marriage, with Hera growing increasingly jealous and furious. Talk about a divine soap opera. Leda, the Queen of Sparta, is married to King Tyndareus, which means she's off limits. But when has that ever stopped the ever-horny Zeus? Especially since Leda's beauty is utterly irresistible. Even the king of the gods has to get creative sometimes. So Zeus concocts a plan to seduce Leda. He transforms into a swan and pretends an eagle is chasing him, because who can resist a beautiful swan in distress? In his swan disguise, Zeus woos Leda with poetic verses before ultimately forcing himself upon her. Now, things get a little weirder. Since Zeus was a swan during their encounter, Leda doesn't give birth like a typical mother. She lays 2 eggs instead. To complicate matters further, Leda also slept with her husband the same night she was with Zeus, making her offspring a mix of mortal and immortal. Castor and Pollux become demigods, while Helen of Troy becomes renowned as the most beautiful woman to ever live. And Clytemnestra, well, she goes on to murder her husband. Life sure was colorful for those Cretans. Zeus's lustful escapades aren't limited to women. He takes a liking to men as well. Enter Ganymede, the most handsome man to ever live. Sorry, Tom Cruise. Even the gods couldn't resist his allure. Zeus, never one to miss an opportunity, transforms into an eagle to seduce a young Trojan prince. In a majestic swoop, he snatches Ganymede and takes him to Mount Olympus, where he becomes both lover and cupbearer to the gods. As you might expect, Hera, Zeus's wife, isn't too thrilled with this dashing young Mediterranean addition. Acrisius, king of Argos, locks his daughter Danae in a bronze prison to prevent her from bearing a child, as he's been warned her offspring will kill him. But to Zeus, Danae's predicament is more of a challenge than an obstacle. His lust knows no bounds, and he always gets what he desires. Since he can't slip through the bronze bars, Zeus gets creative. He transforms himself into a golden shower, as in rain, and one of these droplets manages to impregnate the unsuspecting Danae. Her son, Perseus, eventually fulfills the prophecy by killing his grandfather. He also slays Medusa, the not-so-charming Gorgon with snakes for hair and a deadly gaze. Zeus finds himself smitten with a woman named Lo, but he wants to keep it a secret from Hera. To cover his tracks, he blankets the earth in a massive cloud. However, Hera isn't easily fooled. Desperate, Zeus comes up with an unusual plan to hide Lo. He transforms her into a white cow. Now he can either change her back or turn himself into a bull. Zeus is nothing if not versatile. Hera spots a beautiful cow and demands it for herself. Zeus reluctantly agrees to avoid being caught in a lie. Hera's wrath then falls upon poor Lo, who is guarded by the 100-eyed Argus, until she eventually escapes. To add insult to injury, Hera sends a mosquito to torment her. Lo never asked for any of this, but you know what they say. Hell hath no fury like a goddess scorned. Next on Zeus's conquest list is Europa. One day she and her friends are innocently gathering flowers when Zeus spots her and becomes infatuated. Unsurprisingly, he's never satisfied. This time he transforms himself into a gentle bull, so alluring that Europa pets him and climbs onto his back. Together, Zeus and Europa swim across the sea to Crete, where she becomes queen and bears several sons. In some versions of the myth, Europa even turns into the continent of Europe. Zeus's power and influence extend over gods, men and women, with gender posing no obstacle. He's even willing to turn into a bull to seduce Europa. His legendary prowess knows no bounds. Now, Zeus is in the mood to play a woman. He's not one to shy away from new experiences after all. This time he sets his sights on Callisto, a nymph of Lycaon and a priestess of the goddess Artemis. Callisto has sworn to remain a virgin. But Zeus isn't about to let that stop him. Crafty as ever, Zeus concocts a plan to disguise himself as Artemis in order to seduce the unsuspecting nymph. After just one encounter, Callisto becomes pregnant. Artemis, clearly jealous that Zeus got there first, transforms Callisto into a bear. Callisto gives birth while in bear form, and her son is likewise turned into a bear. For reasons best known to himself, Zeus decides to fling them both into the night sky. And so, the bear-like mother and son become the constellations Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Yet another tragic ending for those who find themselves in the clutches of Zeus's desires. That's all we have today at Nighttalez. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave your thoughts in the comments. We'll be back soon.